Have a nice day. The story of the film begins with a very beautiful young woman named Anna, who was talking to her mother on the phone while she was exercising at dawn, when the atmosphere was still calm and peaceful. Then, she goes to the club to run and fill her lungs with fresh air, enjoying the early hours of the morning while everyone else is asleep and there is no noise around her. Meanwhile, her mother was strongly insisting that she get married as soon as possible before the marriage train passed her by. But Anna did not want to get married at all because she considers this period to be the most important phase of her life, and she has devoted all her effort to her work. Anna holds the position of senior director in a huge and renowned real estate company, and her position is far from insignificant. In addition to that, she is very successful in her professional life and surpasses all her colleagues. And she is also extremely passionate about order to an exaggerated degree. She likes everything to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect, and that's what makes interactions with her very difficult. The employees who work with her are visibly afraid of her. And we also discover that Anna is a harsh person who flatters no one, confronts everyone around her, and does not easily overlook the mistakes of her employees. Anna doesn't even remember the name of her new assistant because she has fired so many of her assistants. And she no longer bothers to remember their names because, in her eyes, they are only temporary. At the same time, Anna was working on a major project with a foreign investor named Mitch, who wants to build a huge global tourist complex and is looking for a large piece of land where he can develop this complex. And Anna, in turn, sends him photos of various locations, but Mitch was not satisfied with what she presented and asked her to find a new, distinctive, and unconventional site. Next, we are introduced to the company's executive director named Woody, who oversees all the upper management. And when she found out what had happened, she told Anna that she needed to take this project more seriously because Mitch is a major businessman and working with him could open many doors for them and bring in huge profits. And that's why Woody asked his assistant Sona to remove from the file all the locations that Mitch had already rejected. We also meet Anna's lover named Eden. He is a very famous person on social media. He has a huge fan base. Many people follow him during his live broadcasts and interact with him. Eden came to visit Anna that day, and we learn that the next day will mark the 100th day of their relationship. Eden had prepared a pleasant surprise for Anna. He booked a beautiful hotel so they could get away together and spend some time alone. And he also booked a yoga session to help calm Anna's nerves from work-related stress. Anna agreed to the trip, but she told Eden that she would go with him tomorrow because she wasn't ready yet and had a lot of tasks to finish. Then, she asked Sona to book her a train ticket to the destination Eden had mentioned and to order her a taxi to take her to the hotel there, insisting that she do this quickly. But that evening, Sona had plans to attend a bachelorette party she had organized with her friends. And all excited. So she asked Anna for permission and requested to leave work a little earlier to join the party. Anna, very coldly, told her assistant Sana to finish the report first before leaving the office, and only after the other employees had left. And when the place was empty, Sana's friends called her and said they had waited for her a long time and couldn't wait any longer. So Sana lost her temper, felt discouraged, and felt that Anna was always discouraging her and ruining every pleasant moment. She decided to take revenge on Anna because she had made her miss her party and humiliated her in front of her friends. And she booked her a stay in a cabin instead of a hotel. The next morning, Anna traveled to the city where she thought her boyfriend Hayden had booked a hotel so they could enjoy their time together. But she didn't know that her assistant Sana had booked her a cabin located in a... And out of revenge for what she had done to her, she found a man who was waiting for her and who took her to the chalet that her assistant Sana had booked for her, in agreement with a woman named Marika, while her lover Aiden was waiting for her at the hotel he had reserved to enjoy his vacation with her. And at night it was raining heavily. So Anna entered the cabin and was surprised to find a handsome man there who seemed to be the original owner of the cabin. We now move on to a woman named Marika, who is Nizar's aunt, and Marika did not know that Nizar had returned from the army because he had been away from the village for 2 whole years. So she thought he was still away. That's why she put the cabin up for rent on the internet. And when she saw him, she was surprised and told him that the cabin could bring in a good income if he kept renting it out. Because many people prefer to stay in such places, especially like Anna, who begs Nizar by every possible means to let her spend one more night in his cabin, and she clearly promised him that she would leave the next morning, early, for the hotel she had intended to book from the start. The next morning, Anna took her suitcase and left quietly, just as she had promised Nizar. And at that moment, the old villager Hydra appeared, who used to visit Nizar. He was surprised to see him return from military service. He embraced him warmly and asked what had happened to him during all the time he had been away. After a while, Marika came back to Nizar's place and tried to convince him to let Anna stay in the cabin until the road reopened. She said that kicking her out now would force them to return the money she had paid and that this could get them into trouble with the bookings. Anna stepped in and told Marika that she didn't want her money back. There was no need for any procedure, and all she asked was that he help her reach the house of a man named Oleg so he could show her the way to the train station. Anna traveled long distances along dirt roads between the forest and the mountains until she finally reached Oleg's house. And when she saw him, she offered him a large sum of money to take her to the train station immediately before she missed the trains, because she wanted to go see her lover Eden as they had agreed. Oleg categorically refused and told Anna that yesterday's rain had been heavy and had covered the road, making it dangerous and impossible to drive on, even by the secondary routes. And he added, based on his experience, that the road would not be open for at least 3 or 4 days. And since Anna's phone had broken down because it got wet while she was walking, she had to use Oleg's phone, and she called Eden, who was in a yoga session, without understanding the reason for his delay. By chance, 2 young girls passed by, dancing on TikTok and laughing. Anna called out to them and asked them to help her find out the name of the place where she was. Then she found out and sent her location to Eden so he could tell her the way to join him and come pick her up from there. And as Anna walked up the hill, tired, she was surprised by a magnificent natural landscape before her. And she imagined herself in another world because of the extreme tranquility and beauty. At that moment, it occurred to Anna that this place could be ideal for the project Mitch wants to build. She hurriedly called her manager, showed her the scene, and explained what had happened from the beginning of the trip up to her arrival there. The manager immediately approved and told Anna that she needed to get the villagers' consent before starting any project. And she confirmed the need to first win the sympathy of the locals and to know their opinion before taking any steps. And at that moment, Eden finally arrived at the station and started looking for a taxi or any means of transportation to take him to the village, where Anna is. But the road remained flooded by water and rain, and no driver agreed to go there. Eden decided to rent a small 2-wheeler at the rental station and set off on his own, in search of Anna, despite the danger of the road and his awareness that he could get hurt. However, he did it to reach Anna and return to Nizar's cabin, and said that she had no other option but to stay in the cabin for the next 4 days until the road reopened, while Nizar tried to wash his hands of the matter and told her to look for another solution, or to wait for the road to improve somewhere else. Anna spoke to Nizar with a calm firmness. After spending the night in the cabin, she would inform the village chief that Marika had deceived him. And during Nizar's absence from the cabin, a girl named Slaka suddenly arrived, carrying a cake she had baked especially for him. When she entered, she met Anna and thought that she was Nizar's lover or that she had some kind of relationship with him. But Anna explained to her that she was just a guest who would be staying for a few days until the road reopened. Then Slaka left, feeling uncomfortable, while Anna decided to meet with the village chief to talk with him. And she asked him to gather some of the villagers in order to get their opinions and to ask their permission for the construction project she had discussed with her manager. Meanwhile, Nizar went to his Aunt Marika's house and told her what had happened. Marika tried to convince him to treat Anna well. She brought up the subject of marriage with him and said that she thought intelligent and different from the other girls he knew, and that she could be a suitable life partner since she had entered his life in this way now. Then, Slaka came to visit Marika and told them that she had gone to Nizar's cabin and had seen Anna there. And we discover that Slaka has known Nizar since school. They were friends and she has long harbored feelings of love for him. That's why, when she saw Anna at Nizar's place, she felt jealous. On the other side, Anna left with a villager named Pedro. They met a woman named Karina, and Anna asked Karina to sign a certain document, lying to her by saying that the document was about a tourism project that could attract visitors to the village and benefit the locals. But she didn't mention anything about the luxury resort or the true nature of the project. And the next morning, while Anna was sleeping, she suddenly woke up to a loud commotion in the garden. She looked out the window and saw Nizar all with the machine making a loud noise. Anna got angry and told Nizar that the noise was unbearable and that she couldn't sleep because of him. Nizar replied provocatively, saying that he didn't need anyone's permission to repair or clean his house. And later, Pedro took Anna to Slaka's family's farm. There, Anna met Slaka's father and managed to convince him as well to sign the document in the same way, assuring him that the project was beneficial for everyone. Anna returned to Nizar's house. He was angry. He scolded her because he smelled smoke and discovered that she had vaped inside the house without permission. She told him that it was just an electronic cigarette, that there was no real smoke and no harm. But Nizar threw the cigarette out the window and said that he liked clean air and couldn't stand any smoke around him. And the next day, Anna met Maria. As they were walking along the mountain path, they started talking about Nizar and his personality. Anna said that her relationship with Nizar was like that of a cat and a mouse. They then argue over trivial things and can't agree on even the simplest matters. So Marika told her a part of Nizar's past. When he was 10 years old, he suffered a huge shock after his parents died in a terrible car accident caused by a drunk driver. Marika took charge of his case and raised him alone. Fortunately, Nizar grew up well-mannered and of good character. He did not give her any trouble in his upbringing. He became a virtuous young man, always ready to help the villagers if they needed him. Anna returned from the grocery store after buying a few things and was very shocked when she saw Slaka standing inside the cabin, rummaging through her belongings. Anna was upset about what had happened, but what shocked her even more was Slaka's arrogance in not apologizing. On the contrary, she persisted and told her that she was an ill-mannered girl with no morals. And when Nizar entered the house and found the two of them in a heated argument, he asked what had happened between them. So Anna explained in detail what she had seen. At night, Marika comes to visit Anna with a dish containing a hot meal prepared especially for her. But Nizar tells her that Anna has left and that there is no trace of her left. Marika is then deeply shocked to learn that he drove her away and let her go alone into the forest at night. And meanwhile, Anna is actually walking alone in the forest, unable to see ahead of her because of the intense darkness, and she feels completely lost. Suddenly, Anna hears the howl of a wolf very close to her. She freezes in terror on the spot, and at that moment, she thinks it's the end for her. She accepts her fate and tells herself that she is going to die here alone. After a few minutes, Anna is surprised when she finds Nizar, who had followed her to look for her. And he was very worried about her. And when he noticed that she was hungry and tired, he decided that they should camp for a while in the forest. They sit by the fire and eat the food that Marika had brought. Anna looks at Nizar and asks him how he knew where she was in the middle of this forest. He explains to her that he knows the whole village by heart and that he followed the things she was dropping behind her on the path, like breadcrumbs. Anna begins to feel guilty and she apologizes to Nizar with all her heart, admitting to him that she was very tense and got angry without thinking and that she never wanted to humiliate him or lose him. But Nizar in turn apologizes to her and tells her that he was wrong because he treated her harshly and with a rigid attitude. And he admits to her that he regrets not having defended her during her argument with Slaka, even though he knew that Anna was right. Then Anna opens her heart to him and tells him about herself, saying that she doesn't know how to enjoy vacations like other people, that she works constantly, and that she's been tired ever since she was a child. Anna tells him that she had long dreamed of becoming a successful woman with a beautiful house, a luxury car, and elegant clothes designed by the most famous designers. And she actually achieved all of that. But when she accomplished her dream, she discovered that what she really needed was peace of mind and simple pleasures. And now, when she finally decided to take a vacation, it seemed like the whole world was against her, and her assistant had turned her day into a disaster. When Nizar hears this, he smiles and tells Anna to enjoy her time in the village instead of wasting it thinking. Then he notices that she looks tired and asks her to go into the cabin to rest for a while. And the next morning, Nizar takes Anna for a walk around the village, and they start getting closer and closer to each other. Then, he takes her to an old cabin and tells her that the cabin used to be a cheese factory owned by his family. He also tells her that he had been making cheese for years, and that he used to work there with his father and grandfather when he was a child. And luckily, he still remembers his father's secret recipe, and he dreams of reopening that factory one day. Nizar takes Anna to see one of the village festivals that have been held for centuries, and he tells her that on that day there are special customs and traditions, and that everyone participates with enthusiasm and joy. Slaka sees Anna with Nizar standing together and laughing, and she gets upset by this scene because she feels that they have grown closer to each other than they should have. And jealousy flares up inside her. And in the middle of the festival, Nizar decides to open his heart and to confide in Anna. But Slaka suddenly interrupts them and takes Anna away to participate in an ancient custom for young girls. And she says that they perform specific rituals through which she wishes for marriage and good luck. So Anna goes with her, surprised. After the festival ends, Nizar tries to get closer to Anna a second time, and he thinks about telling her something important. But this time, the executive director interrupts them. She suddenly arrives with her assistants and starts talking about the project details in front of the villagers. And she explains the entire plan. And after Nizar hears what she says, he is very surprised. His expression changes, and he realizes that something is not right. Then, he suddenly discovers that the project he was talking about is not just a plan to attract tourists, as Anna had said, but a vast, luxurious complex that will completely change the face of the village, and he collapses in shock, while the executive director was explaining further. Nizar remembers seeing Anna and Pedro walking around the village and collecting signatures from the residents. And he realizes that it's a luxury project, whereas he thought it was just an environmental campaign. Then he realizes that Anna had deceived the villagers. He is shocked and feels as if he has been tricked at the same time. Anna's lover arrives and tells about the challenges he faced and how he is a hero because he overcame all of them and finally made it to the village. And when Nizar discovers that Anna is also engaged, his anger grows. Then Eden comes to ask for Anna's hand in marriage, and the news is hard for Nizar. After the holidays end, Nizar decides to return to the army in the hope of forgetting Anna. And at the same time, Anna becomes more and more involved in the project and manages to convince Mitch to give up the idea of building the luxury resort. And after a few months, Nizar returns to the village and he is shocked when he finds Anna still in the village, busy preparing her family's cheese factory. And when she speaks to him, she tells him that she has come back to fix her mistake and that she wants to offer something good to the village. And she also tells him that she convinced Mitch to invest in the cheese factory and in a project to attract tourists instead of the luxury resort. And she finally admits to him that she and Eden have separated. And when Nizar hears this, he can no longer hide his feelings and asks Anna to stay with him. And he confesses to her that he hasn't been able to stop thinking about her because he truly loves her.